You know that feeling when you walk into the shop and it actually smells like progress instead of just, well, damp sawdust and regret? That was me this morning.
Is that why you're glowing? Or did you finally replace those flickering fluorescent tubes with those high CRI LEDs you've been obsessive about?
A little bit of both. But mostly it's because I've been looking at the roadmap for where we're heading in 2026. It's a good time to have calluses on your hands, Alex. Between the new tech and the way the trades are leaning, it feels like the world is finally remembering that someone actually has to build the stuff the visionaries dream up.
Spoken like a man who just spent 4 hours squinting at a blueprint. But you're right, the TigerDen Daily is looking a bit futuristic today. We're talking zero-waste printing and high-level welding certifications. It's not just about hammering nails anymore.
No, it's not. And look, I'm the first guy to complain when things get too computery, but the stuff happening in the 3D printing world right now, it's solving the one thing that's been chewing on my conscience for years, the waste.
You mean the plastic mountain in the corner of every maker's room?
Exactly, those purge blocks, or printer poop as the internet so eloquently dubbed them. You'd print a tiny multicolor figurine and end up with a brick of wasted filament twice the size of the actual part. It felt like carving a toothpick out of a redwood tree. But the snapmaker you won, they've gone with a tool changer system.
Break that down for someone who isn't neck-deep in G-code. Why is a tool changer better than just purging the nozzle?
Think of it like painting a house. The old way was using one brush, dipped in red, then dunking it in a bucket of white paint and scrubbing it on a rag until the red was gone before you could paint the trim. Total waste of paint. The tool changer is like having 6 different brushes ready to go. You just put the red one down and pick up the white one. No cleaning, no waste, just clean lines.
That actually sounds efficient. Did I just hear you praise automation?
Don't get used to it. But even Creality is getting in on it with their CFSC system. They're moving away from those big blocks of waste and using these sticks for color swaps on the K1 series. It makes the entry-level stuff feel less like a toy and more like a real manufacturing tool.
Speaking of real tools, you were looking at the AWS updates. You've always said that anyone can burn a rod, but making a career out of it is a different beast.
It's the difference between a job and a legacy. The American Welding Society just put out their 2026 outlook. And if you're in the trades, you need to be looking at Minneapolis this June, the Welding Automation Expo.
Automation again. Is the robot coming for our jobs, Tiger?
Only if you refuse to be the one holding the remote. That's the secret. The guys who are going to be making the buy a boat kind of money are the ones who understand how to oversee a robotic cell. They aren't just welders, they're technicians who understand the metallurgy and the software.
And for the people who want to put down the torch eventually, my knees hurt just watching you crouch under that trailer last week.
My knees felt it too, believe me. That's where the CWI comes in, the Certified Welding Inspector. The February Welding Journal was pushing it hard, and for good reason. It's the golden ticket. You move from the booth to the office. You're the one signing off on bridges and high-rises. It's a career accelerator that takes all those years of inhaling fumes and turns them into high-level consulting.
That's a recurring theme today, moving from the doing to the managing or teaching. We see it in the Maker Mogul Corner too. You caught that Side Hustle Nation piece?
I did, and it hit me right in the gut because I remember how I started. Most people think they need to build an inventory of 50 cutting boards before they can open an Etsy shop. They spend 6 months and $3,000 on mahogany and then realize nobody wants that specific size.
So what's the shortcut? Because speed to market sounds like a corporate buzzword.
It is, but the logic is sound. Start with services. Instead of building the table, sell the design. Or do CAD work for other shops. Or repair furniture. It's the fastest way to get cash flowing without the crushing overhead of a physical storefront.
It's basically selling your brain instead of just your brawn.
Exactly. Your shop knowledge has a shelf life if it stays in your head. But if you turn it into a digital course or a consulting gig, it pays for your new drum sander while you sleep. I spent years thinking I had to be at the bench to be working. I was wrong. The work is the knowledge. The bench is just where I apply it.
Let's get back to the bench for a second, though. I saw you looking at those miter saw station designs. You're finally tired of using a 5-gallon bucket as an outfeed support?
Hey, that bucket has served me well for a decade. But yeah, looking at these 8-foot integrated stations with T-tracks and stop blocks, it's like seeing a different way of living. Imagine never having to pull out a tape measure for a repeat cut.
It sounds like you're trying to turn your hobby into a factory.
It's about removing the friction, Alex. Every time I have to hunt for my square or clear off a horizontal surface just to make one cut, I lose the flow. A dream shop isn't about having the most expensive tools. It's about having a layout that doesn't fight you. Like those mountain tables everyone's obsessed with, the live edge wood mixed with epoxy resin.
They are beautiful, but they look like a logistical nightmare to actually build.
They are. You're basically managing a chemical reaction while trying to keep a massive slab of timber from floating away. But the lesson there isn't just buy epoxy, it's plan your workflow. If you don't have a level surface and a dust-free environment, that expensive resin is going to look like a swamp by morning.
I can see you now, frantically blowing bubbles out of a table with a drinking straw at 2 a.m.
I don't want to talk about the bubble mocalypse of 2019. We moving on?
We are. But before we close up shop for the day, what's the one thing people should actually do after listening to this?
Look, whether you're eyeing that CWI certification or just trying to organize your drill bits, the common thread here is future-proofing. Don't just build for today's project, build the system that makes the next 10 projects easier. If you're a pro, get the certification that keeps you relevant when your back starts to give out. If you're a hobbyist, build the miter station that stops you from making the same measuring mistake twice.
So basically, stop working harder and start working slightly more strategically?
Precisely. Invest in the foundation, not just the shingles. Dig into the path that fits you, the trades, the mogul life, or just the pure DIY joy. And whatever you do, keep the grit in your teeth and the creativity in your head.
Well said. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Stay curious, folks. The shop is open whenever you're ready.